Dunkin' Donuts, there she is. I am really trying to work on my hydration.
We have to hydrate, people. We have to hydrate.
Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Candice.
And welcome to Don't Start.
And as we like to say, don't start.
Candice, save it for the show.
Exactly. So let's get to it.
I think I've been really bad. I think I'm really great hydrating when I travel. Specifically, I'm like, oh, before I board the plane, I'm like, I have to fill up my water. And then I panic when I don't.
Yeah. No,
Do you
it's a
feel that
lot.
way?
It's a lot when I'm traveling because, all right, so I do this thing, like I'm getting on a plane tomorrow because I have a show
Yeah.
in North Carolina, and I always do this thing where I'm like, I have to bring my industrial strength water bottle, but I bring it empty because you can't go through TSA, that whole thing. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna fill it up when I get into the airport, whatever. And if I forget it, I'm panicked because then I'm like, I
Yeah.
gotta buy water. I don't like drinking out of plastic water bottles. That's a whole nother situation. So it's like I do it if I have
No,
to.
you need to
Obviously.
specify, why don't you like plastic water bottles?
Okay, so I don't like plastic water bottles because ever since the fertility endometriosis
Yeah.
journey, the first thing that happened was my doctor turned to me was like, the chemicals that seep into our water from a plastic water bottle is not good for someone like you. And then I realized it's not good for someone like anybody. No one should be
Yeah.
doing that. But we don't know these things. Like I used to be, I think I've once said this, hot water bottle in the car. And I'm like, I need a sip. And I would just drink it like in my, early 17,
No,
18, 19 year
that's
old 20s.
yeah, 17, 18. I think we
Yeah.
all knew. It was also what time that was, what,
It's
2000?
just like, that was 2000. Yeah. Like I didn't know. Like I didn't
No,
know.
nobody knew. Nobody knew
So
then.
that being said, the plastic water bottle thing, being a grown ass woman, I'm trying my best not to do.
Yeah.
So if I forget my big ass canteen, I call it a canteen. That's what it is. It's a giant
Yeah.
canteen. I'm very like wrecked. But we have to drink more water these days. All of us do.
So my question is, are you on the Owala kick? What kind are you in any of these, like Yeti? Do you have a branded
No, I don't.
canteen?
I
Oh,
I don't. I mean, people get
I
fancy
bought
with that.
this just because I like the color. It's the
Yeah,
size of
that's what
my
I'm saying.
torso.
Wait, that's what I do. That's what I do. I buy something because I like the color or the look, not like the name. I don't care. But my one
Well, that's
cousin got a
why I
Yeti.
bought my convertible. I loved the color and
You're
also
perfect.
how it drives, of course.
Yes. I mean, my cousin got a Yeti and then lost it, like left it on the bleachers because
Yep,
her little boy
yep.
is in baseball. I'm like, that would be me. That's why. Same thing with sunglasses. I buy $5 sunglasses. I crack them, I lose them. I definitely am the first person to be like scratching them. So I'm like, I have $5.
Yes.
I can't. I can't.
All right. If we're going to worry about water bottles, I am
Yeah.
here to give you a little note. Protect your eyeballs. Those are all you got. So I know you're getting $5, but
I'm
make
good.
sure they have the UV ray protection. Because
That's
I do
true.
that
That's
too.
at the PSA.
I get fashion glasses, and what are they doing for my eyeballs?
Are you buying the fashion one with the good eyeballs?
I don't know if they actually all do, because I have Chanel, I have a whatever,
Mm.
a Gucci, and then I'm like,
Mm.
now we're
Love.
all on a kick of, oh gosh, Gooders. Have you ever heard of Gooders? And they are
Yeah.
not high pricey. They are a
You're
good
right.
price, I think like 30, 40,
Yes.
durable, and they have the good protection.
Tom and I bought a pair of Gooders and we died laughing because my brother-in-law, my sister, everyone's in love with them and we buy them. And
Yeah.
Tom's like, I can't get them on my head. He's like, how big is my head? I was like, so they don't
Did he get
open
a
wide
kid
enough.
glasses?
No. So we're really panicked that his head is like too big for the rest of the world because he was like, I
How is he
need
with
the best.
hats?
It's tough. The hats are even, I gotta
Okay.
tell you, with Maverick, hats are tough right now. Hats are tough. They have big heads. So it's like,
That's
and plus the
very
hair. So
funny.
there goes that with the hat. But like for sure the glasses weren't wide enough. Anyway, look what we're talking
It's
about.
because
How are
it's because
you?
their brains are so big.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Mine is not at this moment, especially. Tell me everything. How's April been? No,
I've
it's
been
April,
working
dude.
on the 2026 challenge that I failed last year is getting a natural tan. I think it's good for us.
I think
No?
it's healthy. Listen, my uncle is 70 something years old. I won't say the real age because he'll get mad at me because he
Yeah.
listens. He never wears sunblock. He's got amazingly tan, gorgeous skin. He's had this for a million years, literally. And I'm like, you don't care. Like, he's like, I love the sun. Vitamin D, it's good for you. He's like,
Yeah.
he's not
You
afraid.
bathe in olive oil.
Kind of does. He's out there in his garden, probably right now.
No, I mean, we've talked about this before. As we say these things, I also think like we are big. I just told you to protect your eyes, like
Uh,
protect our skin. It's very important. But I think we can do a little base. Yeah. Come on.
I get freckles though. Like yesterday, okay,
I don't
bring
think
me
I
back to LA because I had a moment yesterday when I was driving in the car. It was hot. Obviously, the sun must have been beating in. I was on the highway for a bit. I turned off the highway and I was like, oh my God, my cheeks are like really red. And I was like, oh, the
have.
sun was beating in. And then I looked as I was leaving into like the mirror just to check that I wasn't like, leaking my mascara. And I was like, oh my God, all these freckles came out of my nose. I'm like, these are new. And then I'm like, are they age spots? And then I'm asking
Yeah.
chat. I'm like, chat, are there age spots? Chat, are these? My sister calls them melasma, which is hormonal spots. And I was like, what is
Yeah. Oh my
this? Do
God.
you get the freckles?
I get body freckles, but I do not get it on my face.
A
I
face.
primarily always wear hats outside.
You're Bernadette Petersing it. You are. You're doing the right thing. That's what she
Do you
does.
need to wear hats outside? I love hats because I just don't like when I'm not working, I like to save my blonde hair from all the damage that I consistently put upon it. So I try to wear hats.
I love it.
Oh,
My Apple battery had to be changed and I left the computer at the Apple store and I just picked it up this morning. So I'm like, or
you're one of those people that actually get their battery changed in their computer?
oh yes, tell me you're the person that buys the brand new computer.
We all do.
No.
What is that when it stops charging? When it stops
Yeah.
charging?
Okay,
Yes.
so I'm gonna
My
give the
mother
world
at one point had 2 computers on her desk
oh my
just
God, I'm
'cause
going
she
to give you a nice PSA for the world. If your battery is not charging, you can go, if you hopefully you can go to Apple. Like I'm sure you're still a part of the Apple world and they will change, but it's $130, $35, $135 to get your battery changed. The guy sweetly did say to me, hey, if you want, you can just trade in your computer and get a new one. And I was like, oh, really? He's like, your computer's in great shape. He's like, and you got some space on it. He's like, it's probably worth a little something that you can trade in for a new one.
Yeah.
How much is a new one? He's like, anywhere between, 1,600 to 2,300. I'm like, okay, how much am I going to get for this one? Guess how much he tells me with a straight face. He's like, $192. And he's like, and then you can put it towards your new one. I was like, buddy, if you think you're making a
Oh my
sale, I'm going to pee my pants
god.
right now. You need to give me $1,000 and then maybe I'll put that towards my like new computer. Isn't
Really?
it crazy?
I might have just learned something, but I feel like the reason why we don't do it is because usually they take the computer or phone captive for
For
a long
2 days.
time.
You're right. They
Not
took it
that
for two
bad.
days, which
That's not
felt like
bad.
it wasn't
I thought
bad,
it
but
was like a month.
no, it was 2 days, but it felt like I was leaving the toddler. I was like, "Oh god." And then I had a moment where I was like, "There's 3 things on the desktop that I'm currently working
Yeah.
on that oh, do I remember it?"
Oh,
And I have, a actual computer desktop in my office, but it's not the same as
yeah.
the laptop. There's things on it. So I had a little panic attack,
And
but it was fine.
before you did that though, you put it on an external.
Yes, but Candice isn't great at this. Hence my breakdown over Christmas break this last year when
Yeah.
my computer died, the laptop
Yes.
completely, and I lost like several documents because I didn't put it on the external hard drive because I was like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, I'll do it. And then tomorrow, and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden I didn't do it. The woes of technology. But PSA, you can get your battery changed, renewed, whatever, refixed, refurbished.
Yeah.
And then hopefully you get another 2 years out of the laptop before you got to go spend 2 grand on a laptop.
How do I get a new battery for myself? I
Oh.
need to be
Uh,
refurbished.
wait, I do you have your hydration. Hydration. That's how. Yeah, I need a bit of refurbishing myself.
Yeah.
We wanted to chat about today because there's so many trends and things happening every minute, every day. Do you feel like that? Like I can't keep up.
I'm gonna go direct to camera on this one because I've been noticing all the changes that you've been making. It feels like I'm really doing a show when I'm here. I feel like I'm working, like, as a host.
I'm
Sorry.
looking
And I
at
am a host, and we're doing that. But
you
I
are.
would say, as somebody that is I've said this to you last year.
Yeah.
I do really believe the internet and social media is draining my battery. So for me, the
Metaphorically.
trends make me bonkers. The
Yeah, yeah,
TikToks, the
yeah.
dancing.
Mhm.
However, the new trend is saying something direct to camera that's profound. I have
I
nothing
actually
profound to
saw
say.
that. Yeah, there was
Everybody's doing it though.
you're not wrong. You're right. I am not great at it. If you notice, we giggle about it. Renee on our podcast is fantastic at it. She literally, what'd she say to me? The camera went off and she was like, Candice, when you're talking to the person, look at the green dot. When you're not, and you're listening to the person, look at the person. But the trend these days, especially in TikTok, is like stare at the camera and give us your information. But whatever that is, whatever they're selling, because now QVC is now TikTok Studio. It's all these things, right? Like it's like turning into like you can buy and whatever on TikTok.
Yeah.
So like people are literally giving their, like you said, their 2 cents at the
So
camera.
here's my 1 cent. 1 cent,
What?
2 cent.
Because your battery's running low. So you're
People,
going to get 1 cent.
when you are talking direct to camera with these profound statements, are
Yeah.
you doing these things every day?
I
Are
don't
you that person? How do
know.
you know these things that you
By the
know?
way, wait, what profound things do I have to tell you? No, I would
You're
just text you.
funny. You do your funny everyday thing. And for me, I'm like, no, that's Candace. And the
Oh,
thing
great.
that you do know is based off your experiences, whether it is your fertility journey that we've talked about,
Yes.
or you being Italian, which is just
Yes.
authentically you, which is
Yes.
what we also talked with our friend Maddie,
Yeah, who does that really well, right? He
where
does a
he
lot of
says, I know who I am, and I'm
yes.
just going to talk about who I am. So,
Yeah,
my whole thing of like, when we are saying these statements that we should be doing, it's
yeah.
exhausting. We're also just living life and making
I'm
sure we
with
know
you.
what's for dinner and
Right?
making sure my dog doesn't have poop on its butt, because that's what I did. Does your dog have poop on its
I
butt?
don't know, can only
What
did
do
you see
you
me?
do when
I
there's
just
dog poop on its
immediately
butt?
right, exactly. I immediately looked to my left because I'm like, Cannoli's sitting right next to me. I'm
That's
like,
what
"Do
I
you"
just did. I
but
took
that's
poop
what it
off of
is.
Juno's butt. That is my
People
life today.
people are sharing every bit of information. I think that's
Yeah.
the trend that I giggled at that I texted you about is like, when is it too much? And what I mean by that is like, for instance, growing up, we had speakerphone, right? Maybe. But like I don't remember being in a store with my mom and people because there really wasn't cell phones then, but or people like talking to people on their like old school mode of Motorola's screaming and yelling. Like I literally was in the store 2 days ago with
Yeah.
Mav and we're waiting online. A woman had another woman on FaceTime. So I heard the entire conversation. And by the way, I
Did you
do
say
think she
anything? Did you say
and
anything?
no, and by the way, I do think
Oh,
she's
you
gonna leave her
should
husband, and I
have.
think she's gonna get the house, the woman. I knew her whole story. I'm like, "She's leaving her husband, she's gonna get the house." I was like, "How do I not listen?" I had to listen. It was
Yeah.
right there. But, like, I had a moment where I was like, "Is it my fault that I'm listening?" Then I'm like, "No, you're clearly doing this in public." Like, I saw the woman's face on the camera and everything, and I'm standing in line to pay. For some reason at Kohl's, there's, like, a huge line, so here we go, I'm waiting. But I was like, "Holy shit," like, I'm hearing every bit of the story. I just can't get over the screaming on the FaceTime and the fact
Well,
that
I'll
I
tell you,
know
so
that
so I
Vivian is
get
leaving her husband
yeah,
of 34 years.
Viv. Good for
How do
her.
you
Get
feel?
the
Do you
house.
have this happen
Um,
to you?
so as someone that travels a lot, yes, one of my greatest pet peeves is these first class suited up white guys. Ooh, old guys, old suited,
Old
and they're
white guy.
in first class or they're in the lounge and they're just screaming mergers and acquisitions and $1 million deals and $1 billion deals. And you're like, dude, make the appointment or this business meeting when you aren't in public. And it's also obnoxious.
Yes, it's
And
obnoxious.
these guys, they are so full of themselves that they don't see anybody else around them, and and it's just numbers and billions and millions, and
Yeah.
you're like,
But
"Get
what
out
happened
of
to
the way." It's so
public
obnoxious.
what's that word? Public courtesy? I guess
Decency. Public
decency?
decency.
Public like, I literally remember not that long ago when I would take bar class and they would be people I haven't taken bar class in a solid year. I'm being honest though, there'd be people on their phones talking during class, and she'd be like, "Can you step outside?" I'm like,
No,
"Where's that
absolutely not.
place?
Absolutely not.
Like, what
That's
happened?"
crazy time.
But maybe social media has done that to us that we feel that like, "Hey, I can just I'm airing out my laundry all day long. I might as well just do it on a FaceTime." I don't know, but I
Yeah.
feel like I know too much information about a lot of people. I think we are lucky for social media because we can be close to people with certain things, and I love having a little private
You
page
feel
for
like you're
Maverick.
closer with people because of social media, you just know more.
No, no, I feel closer because, like, I have a little page for Maverick, and we have family that lives really far, and, like, they see updated pictures, and I'm like, "Oh, this is really cute." Like, that to
That's
me is
cute.
great.
That's cute. But when are we turning off?
I
When
don't
are
know.
we shutting off if we're always on this? And
I turn
and
my phone Do you turn your phone off at night?
no, because we lost dad in the middle of the night and we had it on mute.
Valid. As my mother said to me this morning, "Never
Emergency.
turn off your phone. Never turn
Yeah.
off."
And that's I mean, I would say very much traumatic.
Oh,
I am
that's traumatic, actually. You should
and so what I would say to that is, there's not I always mute my phone,
You
right?
mute.
And
Okay, so
so
that's like a
for
good
me,
ritual.
my own discovery in that is to validate it for me as that dad didn't want me to be part of the
Oh,
chaos
yeah.
of that evening,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
also just me trying to find peace that because Chad and I woke up in the morning to him already passed.
I
So
understand.
that's heavy and traumatic and triggering, but
Trigger.
confusing of like, yeah, that was a moment that I would prefer not to have my phone near me, both Chad and I, not
Yeah.
in our bedroom. We've talked about that. The doom scrolling is energy sucking for me
Yeah.
specifically.
No, I think
Um,
you're not the only one, and I also think
yeah.
going back to turning off, I think it's more like what you said, which is I don't turn off my phone completely, but I mute it and maybe put it away for the night. Like Tom does this thing where like the second we start dinner, he's like, "Goodbye phone," and he puts it in the drawer and he doesn't see it till the
Yeah,
next morning. I
right.
still can't do that just yet. I think it's because there's a few things. I have some
There's
projects going on where
we have older parents, and I think just because of emergencies, and the thing
all
that I would
that.
say to that is, I tried to do it where you can, like, s it could push in emergencies, like the phone
Oh,
calls, where you
oh,
could
okay.
have emergency contact that if they were to call, right,
Okay.
it'll go over the mute or something like that, but then I was on a live set about to film a live thing, and Chad's phone would come through, you know what I
Yes.
mean? So, like,
Yeah.
I don't know the answer to that.
I don't know either. My
Um,
mom yelled at me the other day because she said to me, "Do you have a landline?" And I was like, "No. Do you have a landline?"
no. No, no one has landlines. It's a waste of
Oh,
money.
no, no. Everyone in my family has a landline because they feel they need the landline.
So then who doesn't anybody call on it?
I mean, I forgot the number the other day. Oh God, what's happening to me? Because my mom
Your
was like, "My cell
that
phone."
yeah, that
I
you
didn't
grow
know.
up? Is it your grow
No.
no. Yeah, yeah.
No, the grown-up one I remember, like, yesterday, but the
Yeah.
one that they moved into after college, I don't remember all the time. I never dial it. Like, why would I dial any numbers today? But it was like, "Oh, they have a landline," and, like, my aunt has a landline, my 2 cousins, and I was
No.
like, "They have landlines." I don't have a
I don't
landline.
think I know anybody that has a landline.
Yeah, I got screamed at because they were like, "You need a landline." I'm like, "What am I gonna do with it?" But they're like, "Now you can turn off your phone." I'm like, "No, no, I'm not gonna remember the number. It's not happening. It's not happening. I'm
I
not
don't
gonna do
want you to get a landline.
it." Imagine if I was
I don't
like,
think I would identify with you anymore.
"Wait, what if I said to you, 'Call me on the landline'?" Oh, that'd be great.
I loved getting phone calls on the landline when I was a kid, and that joy in itself of
Yes,
graduating to your own phone line. I mean,
valid.
that was some, like, big moments as a child that kids won't have anymore, but now the big moment is they get phones, which honestly, you guys with children, there's a lot that you take on with children that gets overwhelming. That's a
Did you
lot
get,
of
like, a
stuff.
beeper and stuff? Did you do any of that? Because
No. No.
alright, I'm not gonna lie, I had a beeper when I
Yeah, the
was
beeper people were the ones selling pot.
alright, I wasn't selling pot, Sarah. I was,
Sure.
what age was I? I think it was my sweet 16. Hold back. I'm about to rip you a new one with
I
Staten
also
Island. Here
would
we go.
love to see you with it, 'cause did you wear it?
I had a white beeper with a clear
Oh,
case. Oh my God. And my first boyfriend I had, I was 16. He's also gay today. I love you, but that's a whole nother situation. But
Yeah.
he would write 143 on my beeper, and then I would
Yes.
write beeper back to him 143. And that's like what I did like
But you
16
beep her
into
back
17.
from a phone. Yes?
No, but he had a beeper too. And then I would send it to
You
him.
can't talk through a beeper.
Well, we kind of did with the numbers.
You could?
Well,
Oh, you
here's
would just do phone.
like
I don't
beepers.
I
It's a
don't even know how beepers work, evidently.
wait. I can't even believe we're having a conversation on beepers. Like
I
you
would
would.
rather you bring back a beeper than a landline. If you
Maybe I'll get us a "Don't Start" beeper. Like, I don't even know if they
Oh
exist
my
anymore. I have
god.
no freaking idea. That
It
was
was
fun though. That and, like, you're right. The joy of a kid not getting a phone call from, like, their, like, crush it's over. It's
Yeah,
over.
inviting you to the movies, which is another
Mhm.
thing that I don't know if it happens anymore. Do
Maybe it's
people go
now
to the movies?
oh, I don't know. Maybe it's a text message, which, by the way, can we talk about text messages really quick? That's another
Love
trend that's going
to.
on right now. People are sending, as Tom calls it, dissertations as text messages. I'm like, you're sending me 42 paragraphs. This could have been an email or just voice memo me. I don't know. How do we
Okay,
feel? I've introduced you to voice memo.
and I ignore it. I don't want a voice memo. I want a phone call. If you have to say that much, you call the person.
Oh,
That's
wait.
still an avoidance kind of messaging.
I stopped doing it for you because I was like, Sarah does not like
I don't
this.
listen. I don't even think I listen to them. I think I'm like uncomfortable. I listen to like the first hello, it's Candice.
I taught
So
my mom.
my mother sends massive paragraphs, but I realized
I
she's
love it.
messaging so much from her computer. She's copying, pasting articles and then putting it in the
Oh.
messaging.
Oh, so she's like at her desktop, like, or at her laptop too. Oh my
Yes.
God. I don't
And
think
that's
Barbara
where
would
it's
do
a
that.
problem. That's the
It's
problem.
very funny. No, I taught my mom how to voice memo recently.
Oh
I
no.
but she doesn't understand. She thinks it's, dictation. So she'll
Yes.
walk into the voice memo and she'll go, "It is 62 degree." I'm like, "Oh, it's not
Period. Does she say
dictation." I'm like,
period? Exclamation point. I
"Oh,
like
yes."
dictation. Dictation I use. I do not do the voice memo. I sent Chad I don't even know what everything's called anymore. Meme, a GIF, just a picture, a saying on Instagram
Yeah,
that said, "If you
yeah.
have the time to doom scroll, you have the time to make a phone call." So he's been
I
doing that.
like that. I
He's
like
been
that.
doing that.
Do
Good for
you still
him.
call
I
them?
didn't do it, but I should probably give somebody a call. I'll give somebody a call.
When's the last time you made a phone call?
Oh, I make to my mother yesterday to tell her I was coming down to go
Okay,
pick her
you're
up for
like
dinner.
I'm a big phone call person too. Like, you're right. I really am. I will pick up a phone. I will
Yeah.
call you. I will call, like, my mother calls me every 5 minutes, so that's besides the point. But it's
Right.
like I have a few friends that literally live by text messages and won't call. I
Yeah.
have some people that I'm working with, wonderful, talented people that like we're working on
Yeah.
projects, and they're texting me paragraphs, and I'm like, wow.
Right.
I
Yeah.
am not gonna read this. This is a lot. And I
Yeah.
realize texting is now a weird place of emailing. And again, I had a woman the other day when I was shopping. She was reading her texts aloud, not herself. Her phone was dictating them. And I'm like, this is public
Yeah.
and weirdness all combined. Yeah, it's weird.
I think a lot of my things that I find irritable are primarily happening when I travel.
Oh,
Right?
sure.
Yeah, so I am big on, like, really resting and getting my sleep on planes if I
Yeah.
can, and so I am that person that has, like I have music in my ears. I've talked about it. I have, like, deep sleep or, like, fall asleep instantly music, and it's just like,
Oh,
"Hum,
that's really healthy for the nervous system.
whoa." I need to do that.
It's like your plane moment.
It's only plain because there will be that one person that will be yappity yappy, nice and loud, or there and then I have an eye mask because there's also that person that leaves the window wide open as the sun comes glaring in, and you try to do something like this, and they still don't get it. So then I'm the person that's in, like, the eye mask. I mean, I look absurd, but it's important for me to be a sane person, to have that time to relax.
Yeah, absolutely. I do think when you're traveling in the airports and stuff like that, you come across all walks of life,
Yeah.
all amazing and crazy people, but you see the spectrum of things of how people communicate now because of a phone. We're just we don't care. I think we're just airing out our dirty laundry, not even realizing it's dirty at this point because I don't think we realize. I think we've become desensitized to what's
Yep.
appropriate and what's inappropriate.
Completely. I think the phone has changed our lives, and honestly, I would like to put it away. I feel like it is dictating sort of things that I have because I am someone that, like, likes to respond immediately. But so
No,
now
you
what
have to.
I've been doing is, and this might not be nice, and I'm not gonna say who's on it, but I've been doing some muting of texts. So
Oh,
it's not coming up right away until I wanna open my phone to see messages from people. I have people on mute.
wait, you're going to teach us all right now because I don't know how to do that. What do you mean?
Um,
I can mute like a text
so
group,
so
like that
it
one
does
person?
so you know how you get alerts on your screen?
Yes, yes, yes.
Certain people will not have alerts on my screen. So
Oh,
I have to open my phone. Does it sound like I'm a jerk? It's trying to protect my
no.
inner neurosis of always answering because
I
I
don't think
will.
that.
Do you know what I mean? Like, if I see a message, I'm like, "Oh, get back to it." Emails, get back to it. So,
Yeah,
I have a mute button, and you could when I open my phone and look at my messages, you see that there's a alert that you missed one message, but it
yeah.
doesn't come up in my the front face while I'm sitting
Okay,
here.
I don't think that's jerk at all. I actually think that's like, when you categorize and put things into boxes, you're like, okay, this is the
Yeah.
where I need this person to be. And you're gonna see the
Yes,
message anyway,
and
because you're eventually gonna open up your phone.
yeah, I guess it's like, sometimes it's stressful where I'm like, maybe I need a break from answering every question that comes through.
I agree. I think that's wonderful. I don't that
Really
doesn't bother me.
working on peace, and I've talked about it, peace and love. But,
Peace
no,
and
because
love.
I am someone that I think traditionally runs hyper, like, do, that my off, I really try to work on
Yes,
navigating.
and I agree with you. I might actually be the same, and maybe there's a lot of women like this, I'm curious.
Yeah.
An email comes
People
in, I feel the
pleaser.
need that
Yeah.
I have to respond immediately because I don't want them to think I'm
Right.
ignoring them. I don't want them
Yeah.
to think I'm not working hard or thinking about the project or whatever the email's about. I
Yeah.
do the same thing. What is
Yeah.
that?
There could be things that don't need to be answered right away. And for me, that's a hard concept to understand. Like, oh, if and
100%.
I feel like recently I had an email come by for something with a gig, and I felt bad because I feel like I let the DocuSign go too long that it
Yes.
timed out,
Yeah,
and I was like,
it's
"Oh
not
my god,
yeah.
I'm not this person." But I was like, "It's okay to be that person." The urgency of the phone in your hand, right? It makes you neurotic.
It
And then I
does.
feel like everybody's posting every thought about everything they're doing in their life.
They
Go,
are.
you just don't have to show me everything you're eating. When you're traveling, escape, go escape. But it's hard.
That's
I do it too. It's the look at me culture.
It's look at me also too, and I'm saying this because I just spent a couple of days with some food influencers. And what I mean by that is I did not know I know what it is. Obviously, we're on social media,
I
all of
love
us.
food.
But I love food. But I didn't know what it entails. And what I mean by that is these people are literally making a career. They're getting paid to come to these restaurants
Of
to
course.
promote their food, which it's awesome. Like it's not a career.
The
I
commercial now. So
understand.
everybody's doing it with it's the new modern day commercials, right?
Correct, and but it's
Marketing.
also the regular everyday person. It's not an actor they're hiring, so these people all have their way of doing their foodie Instagram, and I find
No,
it
but what takes away the moment of being when it's just joy, the purpose
I
of
know.
meals?
I
And
we'd
so
have to
when I
ask
have sat
I
with people that are obsessive with this culture, they will
Yeah.
have their lights in your face. They will have their phone
Us.
videoing. And when
Mm,
you go to these restaurants, some of the times the food isn't even good because these people are just taking pictures, making it look good, like it's a Burger King burger. And they're like putting on the oil and the grease and they make it look all, you could put a lipstick on a pig, but it's still a pig.
oh my god, I
You
haven't
know what
heard
I'm
that
saying?
in so long. Wait, I feel like my aunt has said that to me, but years ago.
You can make everything look good.
You can put lipstick on a peg. I love it, I love it. Still a peg. The truth
Uh,
is, our culture is crazy right now with the influencer booming life of this
Our
is how kids make.
president is tweeting. Our
It's
government officials, our government officials are tweeting. And it's not just our president. And I'm not making a political
everything.
statement, but if you're
Yeah.
in a professional
Yeah.
situation, I think
Yeah.
that's what I'm getting upset with. She's on the soapbox, my soapbox. I brought out my soapbox, old school.
Do it. Do it.
Can we have some class in a professional way to
Amen.
represent ourselves? On that's where these platforms have become too casual. People have become too casual. They're saying what they want.
But that's true. You're right. Everyone's become too casual. To our earliest point, we're just airing out our dirty laundry. We don't think it's dirty anymore. It's just out there. And we're just throwing it to the wind and nobody care. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Before you know it, we're going to be walking around in underwear and bra and no one's going to care. And I kind of care.
Kanye West's wife.
Yeah,
Have you
I
never
care.
seen her in bra and tights?
Yeah,
She's
I don't
walked
like it.
around like barefoot at Disney World or something.
And it doesn't mean I'm not proud of my body. I just, like you said, a little bit of class. I want a little bit.
Me too. Let's bring back class. But I don't want to wear I when they went after pajamas in the airport, like that people should dress up for the airport, get real.
All that.
I want to be comfortable.
I can kind of agree with you. And here's why. The airport process is different than it was in the 50s. You know, they weren't waiting on these 3-hour TSA lines. So come on now. Let's
Yeah.
understand.
No, they
Let's
want
not
women to be in their, the flight attendant heels. I was looking at flight attendants the other day and I was like, I would be in Crocs or
me
comfy,
too. Yeah.
like little comfy clogs, like
Yeah.
what you wear for when you worked at a restaurant. I'm like,
Yes.
these ladies are in pump.
Yes. No, this is, you know,
Protect your back.
what I was gonna say, get a Hoka. Everyone should be in a good Hoka sneaker. It's such a good sneaker. But going along to what we're saying, I think there's something that I'm noticing a trend as well, which is we're trying to bring back a little bit of old school things. And what I mean by that is we're trying to bring back a lot of traditions. People are trying to be like, hey, sit with your families more. Try, like you said, more social connection with real
Yeah,
people, real
but I don't
people.
think that I know for certain families, those don't go away because
That's right.
it's in your core. Like
That's right.
we say grace. Well, we don't
Yes.
say grace because grace is the middle child gets Maddie is
What's
like,
that?
why do we say grace? So we say the pray, we say the blessing. We say the blessing.
It's
And
very
then we
cute.
all sit together but we can't eat till we have the blessing, which
Yeah.
is always really nice. That's something we love from growing up that you can keep doing with your kids and your family and.
Right.
And I think that's what makes eating together so special. Obviously, I think it's on brand for you once again, feeding into your brand, Candace.
Candace,
But
you should be.
no,
Well, we do it authentically because that's just who we are. Like you said, we just grew up around a big table with lots of food and stuff. Can I be a food influencer? No, and here's why. I will tell you. I've discovered over the last week spending some time with food influencers who I think it's an art in some way because I'm a messy eater. I don't want to talk to the light. I want to talk to Tom or whoever's across from me. I love supporting restaurants. I will do the thing, which is I'll put it in a story like, this is a great restaurant, go eat there.
yeah, me
But I won't
too.
be like, look at the amazing. Like, I'm not, I did it for a few promo things for shows coming up because
Yeah.
I love supporting restaurants that are in cities that I'm performing in because to me, that's great. And so I'd love to do it. But it's a specific thing that's happening right now with people with food. Like you said, it's all over. And
And it
sometimes you
doesn't
need,
have to be just food. It becomes fitness and it becomes
oh,
everybody
yes.
mental
Yes.
health. I stand by this. There's a lot of people that think they know everything and they didn't do anything to train to know it. So, what is your experience that gives you the ability to stand on your
That's
soapbox?
so true.
Like, if it's opinion based, sure, of course, but if you're a chef, you've trained, so you can talk to me and critique the food because you know what it should be like. I know, of course, food is food, right? So if you like it or you don't.
Right.
Atmosphere, you can. That's opinion based. But like we
All
talked about
opinion.
with Maddie about theater or about anybody that's a
Yeah.
critic, and I do think some of these influencers are becoming critics of some sort that he said with like TikTokers kind of destroying some theater. Like when you give a very strong opinion, you can affect people's livelihoods. So now, whether what I don't like the trend of just being trendy and making a viral moment, even if it's good or bad. And I think I don't like that. I think that's bad PR and I think that's bad marketing. But people don't care because you stand out and you get seen and you get numbers.
Not my favorite. So I'm not, I mean, I'm gonna just be like, please just for me, don't talk on your FaceTime in a crowded restaurant and I hear your
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah, wait till
I
you're
can't.
home or in the car. The car's a good place for that.
Yes, and I sometimes FaceTime when I'm going on a walk with Maverick and my or Tom.
Perfect.
But I mean, there's no one could hear
Yeah.
us, but it's just like I said, to the point where now I'm hearing people's conversations and it's going too far, and I'm like, "This is weird. This
You
is
know, that
weird."
one of the moments I saw something that I was living in Los Angeles, so, at least 10 years ago. So
Yeah.
figure it wasn't like the height of where we are now with phones and social media, but I saw a fire happening on Ventura Boulevard, and you see everybody's phones out, not
Mm,
calling, videoing,
yeah.
and like that's the moment where we're like, did anybody
Yep.
call the
Did anyone
emergency?
call 911? Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Or are we just
It's
capturing it before? So anyway, we know how I feel about this. I don't hide it. I have a question.
Yeah.
I recently sent a message to a friend congratulating them on something, and I heard
Mhm.
nothing back. And I've been hurt. What are your feelings about things like that? Where I was talking about not, and I know time goes really quick and people get busy and everything like that. That's not supposed to be as general, but we get really busy. But I was like questioning our friendship now. Any thoughts? Is that
First of all,
is that too dramatic?
no,
Did they
no,
not see it?
I'm laughing because I love that you went there. You're like, "I'm questioning our friendship," because I
Do I
would too.
invest too much? Like, am
No,
I investing too much in saying I'm proud of what you've accomplished?
my first thought was, "Am I not supposed to know?" Like, did I but no, everyone knows this thing, right?
Yeah, because they've
That you
posted it
congratulated?
all over the internet.
Okay, so everyone knows this thing. I don't think you're wrong. I'm the type of person that literally don't make fun of me. Comedy special came out, people started putting, like,
Yeah.
little stories up. I wrote down everyone's handle who did stories because I sent them thank yous and then started being like, "If you do something, tag me. I don't know you, or if I do know you, tag me, and I wanna put you on my story."
Yeah.
Like, I just felt, like, indebted, and I know that's so ridiculous because it's like,
No,
"Really?" But it's
I
like,
like
you
that.
wanna share it, right?
What I was just gonna say is, when I was on one of my rants, I don't mind when people do things like that because it's coming from a wonderful, sincere human
Sure.
place
Yeah.
that you're thanking and want to acknowledge the people that are acknowledging the things that you've done,
Yeah,
right?
and how can I help you? Like, my other thought was, "Oh my god,"
Yes.
like, this one woman, I don't even know her, but we stayed close because she has a bakery in Ohio. I was like,
Yeah.
"Alright, I'll share a cookie thing," and, like, whatever I can, like,
Yeah.
whatever, it doesn't bother me, I love that, but a friend? And I wrote, "Congratulations," and no response?
What do I do? Do I say it again? And I'm really I'm really going after some friends in this podcast.
No, could you send a little text
It's
message and be
hard. Friendships are hard as an adult because we get all caught up in our lives,
everyday life, that's
right?
right.
And I think we have to be more patient. But then at one point, do you say, am I the person giving so much and not getting it back?
I do think that's no, no, that's valid. I do think you're like, "I feel like I'm working real hard here, there's no response back," or whatever it is, and I do listen, you could be all corporate about it and be like, "Hey, just bumping this to the top." When people do that in an email chain, and they're like, "Just bumping this in case it went too."
Circling back. I'm just circling back to my congratulations.
Oh my
Do you want to
god.
respond now? That's
That's
very
so
funny.
that's a tough one. That's a really, really tough one.
Well,
I also get a little
now I
sensitive.
question I question our friendship based
Yeah,
off
I
of
would too.
non-response.
No, I would too. I also get sensitive when we're in the middle of talking of something, let's say me and someone, and the 3 bubbles come in, and then they never write anything, like, ever again, and I don't hear for, like, 3 days. I'm like, "Well, what the fuck?" Like, we were literally in a conversation about something. Like, that to me,
And
like,
I
did they
think
fall
that's
off a
just
bridge?
like yeah, something in life happened. There was a pivot. There was a pivot, like, Maverick needed help with something, he needed to be fed. Like, you know what I mean? Like, where
Yes,
something
this is true.
happened, and your brain just is like, "Okay, sparkly thing, need to go do this
Yes,
next."
I
Yeah,
am very bad with that sometimes. My
yeah.
my sister will be like, "We were literally talking about that." I'm like, "I
Okay.
don't know what happened." The Amazon guy came and cannoli almost sick like,
And
literally
I
killed
got
him.
inspired by a new thought to write a film about something else, and I had to
Yeah,
jot it
oh,
down.
that's true too. I literally be
Yeah,
like this. But it's like,
yeah.
we all have those moments. I think you could say you have those moments too, but, like, congratulations and they're not answering, oh, maybe she just missed it or he just missed it. Bumping this up to the top of your
Maybe
chain.
they just missed it.
Maybe they just missed it. Bumping this to the top of your chain.
Ah, but anyway,
Oh my
but
god.
that's also like the right now, right here, phone in the hand kind of, like I said earlier, where it becomes a neurosis.
Maybe they took a social
Um,
media break.
I texted.
Yeah, I got nothing. I
I
got
took a
nothing.
social media break.
I got nothing.
I try. I tell myself I'm going to try to take
Yeah,
social media breaks,
yeah.
and then I'm like, I
It's
can't.
so hard.
Yeah.
No, it's hard
I
because
think
there's this
the
thing.
biggest thing that I find that I don't like is either that I feel is that are they always make it is it always making me feel good? Do I have
Mm,
FOMO? Do I say like, "Oh, this person is doing so much more. Oh, this person is traveling all over now," and it
yeah,
becomes a thing of the keeping up. It's like another keeping up with the Joneses,
it is.
what we would say, in your neighborhood, your school, that would be a thing. Now it's on platform.
Well, this is the last I'll say about social media because, well, no, I have so many things, but I will just say this. I have a friend who has a young daughter who's an older, like she's 13, and she's like, "Remember when you were 13?" I'm like, "First of all, we're all 13-year-olds still inside. We all are." And she was
Yeah, that's
"Remember when you didn't get invited to the party
all the
on
time.
Friday? On Monday, at school, you were like, 'Oh, I have to hear about this on Monday. That
Yeah.
hurts.'" She's like, "You know what it's like for a 13-year-old today? They don't get invited on Friday. Friday night, they're sitting home on Instagram, seeing the party happen. Saturday, they're seeing more pictures about it. Then the
Oh,
stories on Sunday." She's like, "Then the reel comes out on Monday." And it's like, they're
oh my
living in it the whole
goodness.
weekend. And I was like, it's really, she put it into such a perspective that I was like, oh, shoes. Like, I'm just going to say shit. Oh, shit. I don't know why I said shoes. But like, that affected me. I said
Oh,
shoes. But
shoes. I'm
trying to
wearing
be bad.
hideous shoes right now. Actually, they're Hoka brand.
Hokas are good. Mama,
How
Hokas are
funny
good for
is
the
it?
feet.
So these are the sandals, they're recovery sandals.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shoes.
Hokas are good. Hokas are good.
What is our goal for each individual to do more of or less than? I'm gonna get more
I will say
sunshine
this.
and
You
peace,
know
and
what?
I
I
wanna
will say
read
this.
my book. I am going to read this book that I've been trying to get through. We should have Stephanie Dre on. I've actually
Okay, Stephanie.
DM'd her, speaking of social media, and told her how much I loved her books, and she wrote me back.
But see, that's where social media is wonderful. I love that.
Perfect. Yes, I couldn't agree more, right? That's a perfect example, and she does a lot of, historic fiction that's based and by fiction, it's she does all the research in it, but it's about the women in history.
Love it.
So, like, America's First Daughter, it's,
Love it.
anywho, my brains
Anywho,
my
well,
brain
we're gonna do a summer read episode coming up. That'll
yeah.
be good. I like it. I like it. I love you. Have a
Yeah,
fabulous week.
I finally put away laundry from a month away of travel.
It's so much.
Hallelujah.
The wondering. We should
Hallelujah.
also end with,
Hallelujah.
do you have a favorite restaurant in town that you wanna give a shout out to since we talked about food so much?
I love food.
I do too. I do
We,
too.
do Atlantic Fishery, but it's so
Ooh,
hard to get actually, like, sit down because I don't do reservations, so we always get it to go, but the pickup sushi is delicious.
what town is Atlantic Fishery in?
Point Pleasant.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, in Red Bank, we go to Char. Char is a fantastic restaurant.
Ooh,
So
steak?
shout out to Char. Yes, steak,
Yeah.
lots of steak.
I
Good.
have trouble going out for steak because Chad is really good at making steak.
I do think if you know how to make really good
Yeah.
meat and fish, it's tough
You
going to
make
certain
good meat,
restaurants.
you make good meat. I'll leave you on that note. I'll love you forever. Chad, the man makes good meat.
After that, you were like, "I'm in for life. Put that ring on
Don't
it."
start. Don't start. Alrighty.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us today.
You can follow us on Instagram at Don't Start Podcast.
Or subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
And we'll see you next time, friends.
Don't Start is produced by Anthony Street Productions.